Welcome to the law. Today, we bridge the gap between national accountability and digital responsibility. First, we'll be looking at the judicial big push. Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni has launched a bold offensive against the twin pillars of national decay, corruption and galamsey. The specialized courts, a new High Court division established on February 5, 2026, now fast-track cases involving public funds, illegal mining, and state asset recovery. There's also the extended clock. To match the big push agenda, court offices now stay open from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., ensuring that the nearly 80 billion Ghana cedis lost to misuse over the last 5 years is pursued with urgency. Lost to misuse according to the Auditor General's annual reports. Then in the second segment, the digital trap, turning to the recent Russian sex video scandal. We're examining the Cybersecurity Act 2020 at 1038, the liability myth around it. You don't have to be the author to be a criminal. Under Section 67, the act of sharing or distributing an intimate image without consent is an offense. We have given you that education here at least twice, but we need to repeat it. The price of a click. Non-consensual sharing carries a prison term of 1 to 3 years, while sexual extortion can lead to 25 years behind bars. So today, we ask, can the new afternoon justice system recover our stolen billions? And are you aware that one forward on WhatsApp could cost you 3 years of your life? This is the law. It's your legal light. It is your help law. We'll be right back.
He fears Ghana's public purse is still bleeding, trapped in a vicious cycle of impunity where corporates escape accountability. Chairperson of the committee, Musah Ahmed, stressed that only a united front of Parliament, the media and civil society can drag the looters into the light and stop the carnage.
We have a report which we will look at per the work of the Public Accounts Committee and the support of the Auditor General. We have been able to retrieve about 12.9 billion Ghana cedis. And there's a whole report on that that we'll be sharing with the public at the right time. So yes, we are making impact, but we can do better than what we are doing now. And that is why we want to ask for support from the media as well, because we are all partners in this. As we all bring it to the fore and see how best we can support each other to make sure the right things are done, I believe it will go a long way to reduce the infractions that we see when it comes to the management of our public finances.
The committee also ruled that a deputy HR officer at the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology must refund and end salaries totaling 31,000 Ghana cedis. The amount was validated and paid to an employee who had been absent from duty since March 2024.
Like the chairman said, chairperson, in March of 2024, he didn't show up. It was validated. The supervisor wrote a query 5th April 2024. And then you paid him for April. Then you paid him for May and June and July. Madam, we'll make it simple. Whoever validated this person needs to pay this amount. 31,847. So ruled. Auditors, make sure that that person pays.
The committee says the recovery of 12.9 billion cedis is progress but not victory. Without biting sanctions and ruthless accountability, Ghana's finances, they warn, remain under siege, and the looters will return to plunder again.
Part of this explains why we have specialized courts. For years, there have been complaints that the Auditor General's report, year after year, identifies specific named individuals and institutions that have been looting the state. In the last 5 years alone, if you put the Auditor General's reports together, nearly 80 billion Ghana cedis has been lost to misuse or they've been stolen. We have a big push agenda by the government that she's supposed to transform the country's infrastructure. How much do we need? 30 billion. It's almost 40 billion. 80 billion Ghana cedis is lost in 5 years. At the time we went to the IMF seeking $3 billion US, Occupy Ghana did a review of the Auditor General's reports over a 5-year period and found that money stolen and monies misused, if they were retrieved, we did not need to go to the IMF because we would have had more than twice that amount by ourselves without going to anybody. So, Galamsey is also wreaking havoc. So the Chief Justice says, I'm setting up a court to take care of these acts of corruption or to recover funds, and Galamsey, which is also a great environmental problem. Over 1,400 and so have been arrested over a period for hemorrhaging our lands. But what is the rate of prosecution and conviction? So we're going to ask the question, as if we don't know the necessity of these specialized courts, why did the Chief Justice set them up? Here, joining us in the studio, is someone you have been very familiar with as far as this platform is concerned. Unfortunately, he is no longer able to join us as he used to do. So today you see that my introduction changes from bringing into focus a law firm and a practitioner of many years at the bar to simply the Judicial Secretary of the Republic of Ghana for the Judiciary of Ghana, Musah Ahmed. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for making time to join us.
How are you? Thank you.
Right. So, why the specialized courts? What really are they?
Thank you for this question. When we say specialized court, it simply means a division of the High Court in our parlance. By law, under the Courts Act, I believe it's Section 43, that empowers the Chief Justice to be able to create such divisions of the court as may be necessary for the attainment of justice. So the specialized courts emanated from a provision of the Act, which is an Act of Parliament.
Right.
So it was lawfully established. Now, the establishment of the specialized courts, if you like, you would want to say that it emanated from an unexpected instituting the court, even thinking about establishing the court. At the same time, unknown to him, the president was also thinking about it. So the two of them, if you like, came to a meeting point where both of them shared a common objective to establish a specialized court. Hence, the Chief Justice's initiative to establish these courts. And they are established to deal with specialized cases. I must be quick to add that these specialized courts are not the first of their kind. In Ghana, we have had the establishment of the fast-track courts. We've also have the establishment of the financial crimes courts, the commercial courts. These are all specialized divisions of the High Court. Internationally, if you go to Kenya, they have the specialized courts in their system. If you go to South Africa, they have it. If you go to Canada, they have it. If you go to Australia, they have it. So it is not one of a kind in Ghana. And so I would ask or implore our citizens to embrace it as we move forward to tackle corruption, tackle financial crimes, tackle online cyberspace crimes, tackle environmental crimes, and others.
So, as I said earlier, we are not oblivious of the need for these courts, but we want to appreciate, we want to get into the mind of the Chief Justice as you said, a coincidence, and also seeking to, as it were, further what the government wanted to do. We know that Galamsey has become an existential threat. We know that the Auditor General's report, year in, year after year, we just heard Abna Osei Asari, who is chairing the Public Accounts Committee. And whilst they were going through the Auditor General's report for the previous year, they were making certain orders on the spot, and that led them to be able to retrieve as much as over 12 million, right? I think I'll get to that figure again. Was it 12 million or billion? It was 12 million Ghana cedis. And they were saying that there was a need for, all hands on deck. So these courts, 12.9 billion, okay? So these courts must be essential for that purpose. The question is, the courts are already there. Why do we need to create specialized divisions for the purpose?
My simple answer to you is this. Like division of labor, we have all done economics before. Division of labor and specialization. We know the end object. Now, specialization is instituted when you want to achieve efficient, speedy, and effective production. We take it back to the court. The court is to deliver justice to all manner of persons without fear or favor. And we have several divisions of the High Court. What the Chief Justice envisages is to put the scale of justice on a scale of specialization, which means that he wants to achieve what the principles I have enunciated: effective, speedy, and efficient adjudication of cases.
Which is what the law actually says.
That's right.
Justice delivery should be.
That's right. If you go to the rules of court,
yes,
the CI 47 Rule 1,
yes,
Order 1, it tells you the purpose for which the rules are established. It says to achieve efficient and speedy justice.
Right.
And that is what the Chief Justice seeks to bring into being.
So We have the corruption and public accountability. We have natural resources and galamsey. We have state asset recovery and organized crime and security.
That's right.
Take us through them.
We are looking at, first, the issue of galamsey, illegal mining, which we all know the detrimental effect it is causing to our nation. The issue has gone beyond the tables of ministers and public office holders to what I would call an executive and judicial action. Now, on the part of the judicial action, we are looking at establishing the special court so that when these galamsey offenders are arrested by the police and they are processed by the Attorney General, we as the judiciary, who are to administer justice to these persons, do so expeditiously in a manner that will send signals to any would-be offender to know that we really mean business this time. You also take the case of the Auditor General.
Right.
Every year we see the Auditor General coming out with his report. And in that report, I believe Joy FM has always taken the lead to discuss the report and educate the people about the implications of sin. The reports that we have seen over the years, at least for the past couple of, maybe 4 years, reveal that so much loopholes have been created in the system which allows public servants, I use servants advisedly, who are supposed to serve the public, ensure that the public purse is not tampered with, create the loopholes, and then they siphon these funds, which are meant for development.
According to the 2024 Auditor General's report,
Yes.
which has been dealt with, financial irregularities reached 18.4 billion Ghana cedis. That's just for a single year.
Yes.
And that was 109% increase from 2023.
And this is simply because over the years, we seem to have been sleeping over our rights. When I say sleeping over our rights to punish these offenders. The establishment of the specialized court will involve establishing a special court that will handle such charges coming from the Auditor General. And this will put an end to some of these gargantuan crimes in the financial sector.
If you are just joining us, this is The Law. It's your legal light. It is your help law. We are dealing with two issues, but first we are dealing with specialized courts that have been set up by the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni, to deal with specific matters. First, about corruption and accountability. And so all matters relating to the Auditor General's report are to be dealt with in that manner. So I give you an example. The Auditor General's report in the last 7 years, from 2017 to 2023, show a combined total of 43.7 billion Ghana cedis in irregularities. What is the recovery rate? Only about 34%, that's 14.9 billion Ghana cedis, was recovered, leaving about 28.8 billion effectively lost. Why? Because we are not prosecuting and getting them. In 2024, there was a surge. Irregularities, as I spoke about, alone jumped to 18.4 billion Ghana cedis, 109% increase from 2023. 2023. And as I mentioned earlier, in the last 5 years, I put the Auditor General's reports about irregularities together. Last 5 years, a total of nearly 80 billion Ghana cedis has been misused or stolen. Meanwhile, we have a big push by the government, which is supposed to bring infrastructural transformation in roads, education, health, name them. And we need less than 40 billion, less than half of what has been stolen between 5 years to do that. So we need to catch and do the recoveries. That's why these courts have been set up. So that's about the corruption and accountability. You also mentioned the illegal mining one. So all matters relating to the Minerals and Mining Act.
That's right.
Will go to the
specialized courts.
Okay, the natural resources.
We are also looking at offenses relating to narcotics.
Right.
That will also be going there. We are also looking at offenses involving recovery of assets belonging to the state or in which the state has an interest.
Right.
These are matters that would be referred to the specialized courts. And as I said earlier, we are also looking at cybercrime.
Right.
And they will all be referred to the specialized court.
Right.
By their nature, the offenses require sophistication. People, those who are involved in committing those offenses, the technology they have is beyond, if you like, ordinary understanding. So to appreciate it and to be able to fight it, you need specialization. You need to adopt equipment and tools. You need to adopt human resources that can always be a step ahead of these criminals.
So the understanding is that you are not just setting up specialized courts and give them names. Corruption and public accountability, natural resources and galamsey, state asset recovery, and then finally organized crime and security. But these courts will be equipped differently, both in equipment and human resource.
That's right.
Including the judges.
That's right. The judges will be given, these are existing judges. Some of them have been trained specially. I know some of them have had training in maritime cases. Some have had training in cybersecurity. We are going to have, some have also had financial crime training.
That's right.
So we are going to employ all these judges to sit. Some of them are even appeal court judges. In fact, majority of them may come from the appeal court.
So that's a question I'm about to ask again.
Yes.
So I know that Georgina Mensah, Dacha, Ifya Sare, Boche, they have received sufficient training. They have spent time in the financial crimes court.
That's right.
And then they get promoted to the Court of Appeal. And then they move on. They are going to be there. So you have taken away, the specialization.
Not quite. You see, at each level of the court system, we need expertise. Now, for those judges you have mentioned, indeed, they ought to be promoted as any other judge ought to be promoted. Now, by their promotion, we are not wasting their talents, if you like, in the new system they find themselves, because appeals are going to emanate from the high courts to the Court of Appeal and eventually to the Supreme Court. And we will still need them to bring their expertise to bear on such cases or appeal cases. So yes, they are needed in the High Court. Yes, they are also needed in the appellate court.
I think a question that a couple of lawyers have, been asking is, these courts will operate with the same rules that have clogged the wheels. So what difference, in fact, will be made?
You see, over the years, we identified that a particular judge sitting in the division of the High Court is giving many cases and diverse subjects to try them. And that has been one of the reasons for which the cases clogged. What we are doing now is to, one, reduce the number of cases before a particular judge. This then called for the establishment of the afternoon courts, so that we will push a number of those cases to the afternoon court judges to try them, to reduce the workload of the morning judges, including the specialized courts. So the dynamics are different. The system we are creating has taken care of all those delays, if you like. And we have put in place now a new system which seeks to transform the system where one particular judge is given different subject matters to try, for which reason he's touching on various subjects before him, which could lead to inefficiency and delays. Now, these ones, they are assigned specific cases, they effectively deal with them as a subject, and then they dispose them with dispatch.
Excellent.
Yes.
Next question is this once again limited to Accra? Many times we behave as if Ghana is Accra. People may be right in expressing their views on these issues, but on this occasion, they may be wrong. We have not limited the establishment of the specialized courts to Accra. Indeed, Accra has only going to have about one court to deal with the mining cases. But if you look at Kufurudia, for instance.
Big news. Starting January 1st, 2026, Masters and PhD no longer need PAL. That is, there's no need of provincial attestation letter. This change applies to students attending public designated learning institution. So, if you wish to study in Canada, contact Say Home Canada Immigration. Remember, your study journey can open doors for your family as well.
In Ashanti region, Eastern region, and in Western regions. That is the rationale. In fact, the reason why we decide, in fact, there's going to be mobile courts as well. We have realized that these offenders in mining cases, apart from having deep pockets, they could be dangerous. We have seen it attacking the NIMOS members, attacking the police, attacking the soldiers, attacking community leaders who go out of their way to go and speak against them. So what we are going to do, where we find that it will be dangerous to station a judge, for instance, in Obuasi, if we find that it will be dangerous for the judge to go there and be stationed there, we are going to create a mobile movement for the judge to be taken to Obuasi as and when the cases arise, to go and deal with those cases, and then he's brought back.
That's the idea of the mobile courts.
The mobile courts.
One would have thought that once you are creating these specialized courts, doing afternoon session courts, that should be sufficient. But I think you have given us a good reason why there should be a mobile court for the purposes of the natural resources and galamsey cases. This is the law. If you're just joining us, we are having lunch with Musah Ahmed, Judicial Secretary, explaining to us about the specialized court that's been created and also the extended court hours and also the afternoon court. How do the afternoon courts work?
Yeah, with the afternoon court, what we have done so far, we have selected about 30 courts. And out of these 30 courts, we have mainly Court of Appeal judges sitting in the afternoons. Indeed, we do have some High Court judges also sitting in the afternoon, but the majority of them are Court of Appeal judges. The idea is that the morning session will take 5 hours in sitting, and the afternoon session will also take 5 hours.
So the morning from 9 to 1?
From the morning, we are looking at from 8.
Okay. Yes, because the time has been shifted to 8 instead of 9.
And then at the end of it, they have about 30 minutes to change, if you like, in the old parlance, change lessons, whereby changeover is taking place. So the afternoon judge will then take over and continue till about 6 p.m.
But as we know, judges really don't close when they have left the courtroom.
Yes.
When they leave the courtroom, they are going into their chambers.
Yes.
That's where they are going to be writing rulings, judgments, and the rest.
That is what they do. So, in the normal sense, a judge is supposed to sit for 8 hours. You sit 8 hours, and then you have the rest of the day to do your other businesses, like you rightly said, going to read your next day's files, go through your rulings, correct your mistakes in judgments, keep on writing your unfinished judgments. And in most cases, they even take it home to go and do it.
Right. And
that shows that our judges are working very hard.
You know, some will ask, specialized courts are not new to us, particularly for the purposes of, Auditor General's reports. Prosecution of persons who have deemed to have committed irregularities, misused money or stolen, and also in galamsey issues. So what's the assurance that this time it will be any different?
The assurance this time is our resolve and determination to do it. We are committed to doing it. The executive is committed to supporting us to do it. As I said initially, that coincidence between the President's resolve and the Chief Justice's initiative. Both the executive and the judiciary are committed to making sure that the new system we have put in place works and works to achieve the purpose for which they have been established, for the betterment of Ghanaians in general.
Let's just a bit about, as we understand, there have been several arrests of persons, involved in galamsey matters. Over 1,486 arrests in 2025, and then significant seizure of equipment. We had excavators, 443, bulldozers, 11 that were seized. There were people who attempted to bribe. The ministry disclosed that security agencies rejected approximately 234,000 Ghana cedis in attempted bribes during these operations. Now, so these arrests will form the basis for the caseload currently being handled by the specialized High Court Division established by the Chief Justice to ensure swift prosecution of environmental crimes. Are we able to get an idea how many of these cases have been put before this court so far?
I cannot immediately and offhand give you numbers, but I can safely tell you that not less than 25 of such cases are ongoing in
Secondary alone?
Secondary alone.
Okay.
We sent a specialized judge, court judge there. And the information I'm having is he's dealing with a lot of such cases. Indeed, there are a lot of instances where he had to remand some of these culprits. In Accra, I know a few ones, not less than 20 in Accra. We also have not less than 15 in the eastern region. So in terms of the figures, I can assure you that we are doing more. The prosecutions, the Attorney General is showing seriousness. They are showing a determination to fight the canker. And the police are also committed to fighting it. So we are all in together to deal with this menace.
From the point of announcement and the publication about these courts set up on the 7th of February 2026, was it like immediate? By the time the announcement was being made, the courts had already been set up, the judges were already in, or when did they begin to operate? The moment we thought about the establishment of the courts, we immediately appointed the judges. In fact, from the last elevations that happened to the High Court, which I believe was in the later part of 2025, we appointed from amongst those judges specialized court judges. So we have the judges in place. Right.
And we did a posting. We sent them out to their various stations, awaiting to kickstart until the formation of the structure.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Musah Ahmed is the Judicial Secretary and who is found time to be with us this afternoon. I can assure you that this is not the time that he would naturally agree to an invitation to be on TV doing a discussion. But he had to oblige us this invitation. So as you know, there are the Corruption and Accountability Court. That's for cases arising from the reports of the Auditor General, cases brought under the OSP Act. Then we have the Natural Resources and Galamsey Court, proceedings related to Minerals and Mining Act, general cases involving environmental degradation. We have the Asset Recovery Court. That's about cases involving the recovery of property in which the state has an interest. And we have the Organized Crime and the Security Courts, offenses under the Narcotics Drugs Law and offenses under the Cybersecurity Act 2020. We'll go to the Cybersecurity Act shortly to close with. And so there's also the extension of the court hours that has come into effect from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. On weekdays. The weekends, because we need speedy, justice. Are you considering that as well?
Well, that will be out of place, but we don't want to also, if you like, push our judges to overwork beyond their limits. They are humans. So the system we have put in place now, we believe that within the week, they will be able to take care of the cases that we deem necessary to be.
Right, but the SNIT-related matters that are dealt with weekends, they continue.
They are dealt with by, the lower courts.
Right.
Not the high courts.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now let's try and give a little education about, and we'll open the phone line so that you can ask a few questions, a little education about the Cybersecurity Act in the face of this Russian, quote-unquote, who has gone out to do a lot of damage to a number of our sisters, our mothers, our daughters, our wives, and our girlfriends. So the Cybersecurity Act, and we have been looking at it, we have shared portions of that with you a number of times from Section 66 onwards. What can you say briefly about this penchant to want to share intimate images?
Well, Samson, let me just postulate from the onset that because of the principle that a person is presumed innocent until proven guilty, I wouldn't want to go into the substance of the matter.
Right.
I would rather prefer to live along the lines that the law has drawn.
Right.
We have the Cybersecurity Act, Act 1038 of 2020, which deals with, among other crimes, online offenses. You are talking about cyberspace, the use of technology and computer-related equipments to commit offenses.
Right.
That is why the Cybersecurity Act was established. If you look at the offenses from Section 62, which deals with sexual offenses against minors, you are also looking at reading from Section 65 thereof. You are talking about Section 67, you are talking about Section 66. Now, when you unlawfully, without the consent of another person, seeks to disseminate someone's privacy, if I say privacy, I'm talking about someone's nakedness, showing the person's private parts, you seek to disseminate. In most cases, the online offenses, they call you online, they have your naked photos, they threaten you if you don't pay a certain amount of money or do a certain thing according to their request, then they will go and distribute online. These are, in most cases too, they take it and then they disseminate with malicious intent to disgrace you, to embarrass you and all that. These are the areas the law is looking at. So for anyone to have intercourse with women, have relationship with women, take their photos, their nakedness, and threaten to distribute, they commit an offense. If you look at what the law has done, if you threaten to do so without the consent of the party, you may be in for a jail term. And the law even goes as much as saying that you could be sent to jail for a maximum of 25 years. In fact, the minimum offenses that they create is between 1 and 3 years.
That's right.
That one alone is not a joke. So the law is serious about dealing with these offenses, because in the past we tended to look at it as, something that you couldn't talk about it because of culture and all that. But thankfully now, internationally, people are all talking about it. And so the law has also been enacted in Ghana in a manner that brings us at par with other, I wouldn't like to use the word, they like to civilized, nations of Committee of Nations.
Right.
So that all of us at this stage will begin to fight cross-border offenses.
Right.
Those offenses could also be termed as cross-border offenses.
Right.
So they can take the photos here and send them outside Ghana, and they are cross-border.
So we are opening the phone lines now. You can call. Let's focus a lot more about what's more important, how to retrieve our monies and stop the degradation of our environment. But of course, what is important to you is important to you. So you can ask your questions and we'll answer them to you. Now, what we have been projecting, Section 66 of the Cybersecurity Act, it says that a person shall not threaten to distribute by post, email, text, or transmit by electronic means.
Register for free. Choose from over 200,000 vehicles online. Get your car straight from the USA and Canada. Financing is available. Auction expert, business you can trust.
Intimidate or exert any undue influence on the person, especially to extort money or other consideration, or to compel the victim to engage in unwanted sexual activity, or actually extort money or other consideration, or compel the victim to engage in unwanted sexual activity. A person shall not threaten to distribute by post, email, or transmit by electronic means or otherwise an intimate image of a child engaged in sexually explicit conduct with a specific intent to harass, do all of these things. I get that the first level is that you are threatening.
You are threatening.
You have not actually done it.
No.
And you are in trouble.
Yes, because of the stress it gives to the victim. You see, the person who has been threatened becomes a victim. And the stress alone, the mental agony, the fact that you know somebody has something on you, which when released, could bring your good name into disrepute.
The emotional distress.
The emotional distress.
Michael, you're calling us from Bolga. Let's hear you. And remember that we are also stressing that you may not have to be the author, that you are the one who took that explicit picture or video, but once you are also sharing it, okay? Once you are sharing it on WhatsApp platform and so on, you are also guilty.
And that is what the law of abetment seeks to deal.
Okay.
It is emanating from the law of abetment.
All right. Yes, Michael, you're calling us from Bolga. Let's hear you.
Yes, hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, Samson, for just a question. When we're talking about the specialized court.
Yes.
The distribution, I heard that some will be individual, some will. But I'm concerned about the north. I didn't hear that the Senate one, the north, that they are yet to fix up for one the rationale or not, at least taking one specialized court in the north. Thank you.
So, sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I heard him.
You heard him. Okay, thank you.
He's concerned about the fact that we didn't mention the northern regions. That's what I think. My brother, I mean, indeed, I did not mention the northern regions. I did mention the mobile courts. And so the mobile courts will be used in that part of the country as and when it becomes necessary. But in future, we plan to establish some of the specialized courts there.
Great. So the mobile court can reach anywhere at any time.
Yes.
Right. And I was going through the Section 66, and I need you to note that for threatening to distribute the intimate or explicit images without the consent of the other party, you are likely, when you are convicted, to go to jail for between minimum 10 years, minimum, 10 years.
Maximum
and you could go
years.
25 solid years.
Yes.
Why do you want to go to jail for 10 years or 25 years for showing someone's nudity or putting a picture of them or even sharing it? Why? You're wasting your life. And the law says, in this law, an intimate image may include a depiction in a way that the genital or anal region of another person is bare or covered only by underwear. Remember, covered only by underwear. Or the breast below the top of the areola that is either uncovered or clearly visible through clothing. The person may be wearing clothes, but it's too visible. You'll be in trouble. Let's all take note of that. Boache, a champong. You're calling us from Kumasi. What's your question, Boache?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Go ahead with your question.
I please, honorable, with respect, I need an education that is there a way out of politicians who steal money? Is there a way out for politicians who steal money and go out free? Secondly, who initiated that kind of laws which a politician, they give them land cruisers, salunka, a whole luxurious lifestyle? Because my father was a lawyer, deceased, and we are about seven children. He was just a lawyer, normal lawyer. He was able to take care of us nicely, respectful manner, without any land cruiser, those things. Why are we giving them these things for anybody to now stand up to become a politician? Within twinkle of an eye, they become big and be rough on you, tell you to get out of the road.
All right.
This is my question, please. So
okay, thank you.
For my
thank you very much. That's general and may not exactly be for this platform, but let's hear what Musah will say about it. Let's take the next caller. Wyoming. Okay, you're calling us from Salga. Let's hear you.
Please, if someone share your nude videos, what are the procedures you use to get the person arrested?
Okay, thank you. So let's begin with Boache.
Well, in the case of Boache, he appears to be aggrieved by what he reads from the newspapers. You see, we should not sit in the comfort of our homes and accuse all politicians of being corrupt. You see, we have good politicians. The fact that someone is being given state resources to be able to work for us doesn't mean that he's corrupt. You see, so he should distinguish between resources meant for performance of official functions and corruption as a separate, subject.
Right.
If a politician is found to be corrupt, that's a criminal offense. He will be dealt with. The law is there. If he has evidence that any politician who sits in land cruisers is corrupt, he has to bring his case against that politician.
That's right.
We have the office of the special prosecutor.
We have
the EOCO office, that's Economic and Organized Crime Office.
The police are there.
We also have the police. So, I mean...
Once you have evidence of wrongdoing going on, please report. You can even report to Shraj, and all of that will lead to... You can actually blow the whistle blowing.
We've had precedents. We have precedents where politicians have been made to be accountable for
Exactly. Some have gone to jail, actually.
So you cannot make that.
All right. Thank you very much for that one. I think, Wyoming, you wanted to know what you should do if someone, as it were, distributes, intimate pictures or images of the other party. As Musah Ahmed just said, just look for the nearest police station.
Yes.
And show that ABC has done this. You show how they distributed it. If they did it by WhatsApp, you can show on the phone that they distributed it. If they did it on any other social media platform, you can show, and always take, what do you call it, a screenshot, or download and show the particular platform on which it was done. And that will be used against them. Some people have been jailed over that.
That's right.
Alex, you're calling us from Tema. Unfortunately, you'll be the last person to speak to us. Let's go on, Alex. Oh, did you lose Alex? Hi, go ahead. Alex, go ahead.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Samson, my question is that are there timelines set for the cases that are brought to the specialized court? Else it will just be like any other court, the cases will pile up, and at the end of the day, we will not see the end to it. Thank you.
All right. Are there timelines?
I didn't get his question. I heard him saying it will just be like the old cases.
Yeah, so actually I had asked that question.
Yes.
That because these specialized courts are not using new rules, What's going to be the difference?
Yes,
His question is, do they have some timelines?
I already explained that the timelines for dealing with cases in the specialized courts, if you compare it to the other courts, will be significantly reduced. That one I can assure him. But we cannot tell a judge. It depends on the lawyers. But the judges have been given authority to deal with the cases expeditiously and have given them parameters within which they are going to work. So let us trust in our institutions. I have the trust that the judges are going to perform. And so he has to have that faith.
All right.
He should simply not write off what we have just put in place. It's going to work.
Okay.
It's going to work.
Thank you very much. And remember that if you are, as it were, producing a content that is nude, that is explicit, and you're going to share that and threaten to get money out of that sextortion, you could go to jail for 10 to 25 years. And if you are also just clicking and distributing, you could also go to jail for between 1 to 3 years for doing that non-consensual sharing. My guest has been Musah Ahmed. And there's something I have observed as he sits here and talks. He's praying at the same time. Thank you so very much. He's the Judicial Secretary.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.